Greetings, dear listeners. Before I tell you how I turned my own daughter's trap into her prison, I ask you to support this channel. Please subscribe and hit the like button. It ensures that the voices of those they try to silence are finally heard. And tell me in the comments, from which city are you watching? It gives me strength to know I'm not alone. Part 1. The Silence of the Predator. The house was too quiet. Not the peaceful quiet of a Sunday morning, but the heavy, suffocating silence of a graveyard. My daughter, Brooke, had left for her spiritual retreat in Sedona 3 days ago. She didn't leave me a hug or a phone number where she could be reached. She only left a cloud of expensive perfume and a cold command. Don't touch the thermostat, Mom. Electricity is expensive, and you're just sitting there anyway. I sat in my favorite wingback chair, the one my late husband Arthur bought me for our 30th anniversary. My stomach wasn't just growling, it felt like it was folding on itself. Brooke had taken my credit cards for safekeeping and told me the pantry was stocked. It wasn't. When I finally managed to limp to the kitchen, I found nothing but a half-empty box of stale crackers and a jar of mustard. My Social Security check had cleared 4 days ago, $2,800, money I had earned over 40 years of teaching high school English. But the bank account was empty. Brooke had moved every cent into her travel fund. I remember her face as she stood by the door, her suitcase packed with designer yoga gear. "You need to detox, Mom," she'd said with a plastic smile. "At 80, your digestive system can't handle heavy meals. Just drink water and meditate. Think of it as a cleanse." As the sun began to set over the San Francisco skyline, I realized this wasn't a cleanse. It was a test. She wanted to see how much I would wither before I begged her to put me somewhere safe. I wasn't looking for a fight. I was looking for a stray dollar. I thought maybe Brooke had dropped a $20 bill behind the mahogany desk in the library. As I knelt, my old knees popping like dry twigs, I saw it. A bright red folder shoved deep into the gap between the desk and the wall. I pulled it out. My heart hammered against my ribs. Inside were brochures for a place called Restful Meadows. The pictures showed gray walls, linoleum floors, and elderly people with vacant eyes staring at flickering televisions. But it was the document behind the brochure that stopped my heart. It was a petition for involuntary conservatorship. Brooke had already filled it out. She had lied, claiming I had advanced dementia and was unable to perform basic self-care. The hearing was scheduled for the Monday after she returned from her trip. She wasn't just stealing my food, she was stealing my personhood. She wanted the house. This Victorian home was worth $3 million. To Brooke, I wasn't her mother. I was the tenant standing between her and a massive payday. I sat on the floor and cried. I cried for the girl I used to tuck in at night. I cried for the sacrifices Arthur and I made so she could go to private school. And then I stopped. The tears dried and something else took their place. A cold, sharp clarity. My father used to say, "Never corner an old lion. They have nothing left to lose but their dignity." The poker club reunited. I didn't call the police. In this city, a confused old woman calling the police on her successful daughter often ends with the old woman in a psych ward. No, I needed the heavy hitters. I went to the old rotary phone in the hallway. I dialed a number I hadn't called in 5 years. "Judge Miller?" I said, my voice trembling but gaining strength. "It's Evelyn. I think I'm ready for one last hand of poker, and I need a very big favor." Within 2 hours, the poker club arrived. They didn't look like much, 3 men and 2 women in their late 70s and 80s, but between them they represented 2 retired Superior Court judges, a former district attorney, and a high-stakes real estate closer. They didn't come with cards, they came with laptops and legal pads. "She's been gaslighting you, Evelyn," Judge Miller said, his eyes narrowing as he read Brooke's petition. "This is elder financial abuse. If we play this right, she won't just lose the house, she'll lose everything." We worked through the night. I authorized a private investigator, a nephew of the judge, to track Brooke's spiritual retreat. It turned out she wasn't meditating, she was at a high-end resort with a consultant discussing the sale of my house. We didn't just stop her petition, we built a fortress. The next few days were a whirlwind of quiet activity. While Brooke was sipping mimosas in Sedona, I was selling her things. The gifted Peloton she bought with my money sold to a neighbor. Her collection of vintage wine sold to a local collector. I used the cash to stock my war chest. I called a locksmith. I called a cleaning crew. But most importantly, I called a specialized catering service. I wanted the fridge to be a message. I spent my final day of freedom at the spa. I got my hair done, a soft silver wave. I bought a new silk dress. I didn't look like a woman with dementia. I looked like the owner of a $3 million empire. Monday morning, the sun was bright, reflecting off the bay. I heard Brooke's Uber pull up. I sat in the kitchen, a cup of Earl Grey in my hand, wearing my finest pearls. The front door opened. "Mom, I'm home. I hope you've had time to think about your living situation. I've made some executive decisions for your own good." She walked into the kitchen, glowing with a tan, looking refreshed. She stopped when she saw me. Her eyes went to my silk dress, then to the table, which was covered in legal documents. "What is this?" she snapped, her spiritual calm vanishing instantly. "Who was in here? The house smells like bleach and expensive food." "Welcome home, Brooke," I said calmly. "How was the consultant in Sedona? I hear the real estate market is volatile this time of year." Her face went pale. I don't know what you're talking about. Mom, you're sounding confused again. This is exactly why we need to talk about Restful Meadows." "Oh, I agree," I smiled. "I think you should see what I bought for our celebration dinner. I know you're hungry from your flight." She huffed, marching to the refrigerator. "At least you did something useful." She grabbed the handle and yanked it open. Brooke didn't just scream. She fell back against the counter, her breath hitching in her throat. Inside the refrigerator, there was no milk, no eggs, no cleansing water. The top shelf was lined with Restful Meadows State Facility meal trays, gray, mushy peas, a mystery meat patty covered in congealed gravy, a plastic cup of lukewarm, thickening water. But it was the middle shelf that made her blood run cold. In the center of the fridge, lit by the small bulb, was a legal injunction. It was a restraining order, barring her from the property. Next to it was a copy of the Irrevocable Living Trust. I had transferred the house, the savings, and every heirloom into a trust managed. Brooke didn't just scream. She fell back against the counter, her breath hitching in her throat. Inside the refrigerator, there was no milk, no eggs, no cleansing water. The top shelf was lined with Restful Meadows State Facility meal trays, gray, mushy peas, a mystery meat patty covered in congealed gravy, a plastic cup of lukewarm, thickening water. But it was the middle shelf that made her blood run cold. In the center of the fridge, lit by the small bulb, was a legal injunction. It was a restraining order, barring her from the property. Next to it was a copy of the Irrevocable Living Trust. I had transferred the house, the savings, and every heirloom into a trust managed by Judge Miller's firm. Brooke was no longer the heir. She was a trespasser. And on the bottom shelf, a single small suitcase. Her suitcase, already packed. "What is this?" she shrieked, grabbing the legal papers. "You can't do this! I'm your daughter!" "And I was your mother," I said, standing up. My back didn't ache. "But according to your own petition, I'm incompetent. And since I'm incompetent, I've appointed a professional guardian, Judge Miller. He's already filed a countersuit for elder abuse and grand larceny. The police are waiting at the end of the driveway to escort you off my property." "You'll rot here alone!" she yelled, her face contorted with rage. "I'd rather be alone in a house I own than cared for by a daughter who wants me dead. By the way, Brooke, I hope you like the taste of those meal trays, because according to the judge, your bank accounts have been frozen pending the investigation. That mystery meat, that's all you can afford now." As the police led her away, her designer heels clicking frantically on the pavement, I sat back down. The silence returned to the house, but this time it wasn't predatory. It was mine. I went to the fridge, took out those disgusting meal trays and threw them into the trash where they belonged. Behind them, hidden in a small cooler I'd kept in the back, was a bottle of chilled champagne and a tin of caviar. I poured a glass. I toasted to the woman I used to be, the one who sacrificed everything, and to the woman I am now, the one who finally chose herself. Brooke thought she was putting me in a cage. She didn't realize that I was the one who held the keys all along. I hope you people hear my story, so don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and also like my video. Also, place a comment for where are you see my video.